Hello, Onur. Welcome to our job interview. First, I want you to talk about yourself.
Hello, Mr. Akbir. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'm 32 years old and I'm graduated from Bilkent University, Faculty of Business Administration. I want to work your company and I'm ready for your questions.
For answer, Onur. And it's also to determine the limits of freedom in decision making. But what about the culture?
Plays a significant role not solely in our lives but also in organizations. I'm going to talk about how culture can affect our organization. The majority of employees are spending a lot of time at their work. The culture of their organization clearly influences both the work lives as well as their own lives. Their success and their performance at job can be dependent on their workplace and its culture. As we know, in company, many employees have various backgrounds, traditions, the way of living, and different families and backgrounds, traditions, the way of living and different families. These aspects can help members to understand their partners from different perspectives and cultivate employees from another view. The fundamental point in shared culture is that there is no discrimination between employees, which help every employee to get used to each other. This type of engagement will be a key driver for used to each other. This type of engagement also key driver for employees to be more socialized and will help them to communicate with foreign companies. This part we will call unity. Apart from unity, there is a loyalty part, which is another important role that helps employees to work more motivated. If employees feel themselves comfortable between their partners, they will be more motivated to contribute themselves to the work.
Thank you for your answer, Onur, and I can see that you know so much about the culture. But do not forget another key point of culture in organization is that employees will have more eager to perform better, since one of their aims is to show their culture from better side. This will also affect organization performance. In the final point, organization which developed and performed itself with different cultural aspects will make a better brand image. This company will be known by its culture and hardworking employees. As a result, it's obvious that organizational culture plays a crucial role in organizations. And let's get to your second question. What are advantages and disadvantages of your organizational culture?
I know so much about organizational culture because it was my research topic in school. To answer your question, if an organization has an established culture, it will be easier to maintain hierarchy and order within the organization, so it will be easier to control organization. Because organizations prefer to hire people who have the same culture and idea structure in order to maintain their own culture, thus problems like disagreements are reduced. Another advantage is motivation of people is increased because there are individuals who are the same culture and ideas in their environments, so they feel like they are in the right place to work. But also there are disadvantages of the organization culture. If all the senior executives are from certain culture, it is very difficult to create innovative ideas and creativity in the organization. At the same time, the recruiters may not hire the individuals even if they are very successful, just because they do not fit their culture. And perhaps they lose an individual who can be useful in the future.
Thank you for your answer. And could you tell me the differences in organizational culture between small companies and the large companies?
Yes, there is a big difference in organizational culture between large companies and small companies. First, if you don't have a huge HR teams with expensive budgets, built-in brand recognition, or any other over-the-top benefits those companies are offering lately, so most small businesses have had to be for lack of a better term, more scrappy in how they build winning company cultures. Small companies have to build their brand, define their values, and vision themselves.
Okay, and however, it's much easier to maintain better culture in a small company because of less people and less groups. Small teams are more effective to be innovative and responsive to change. Low possibility of conflicts helps to preserve the positive organization culture. As large companies have more employees and it demands much focus on each person, it can create a ungratified culture in the organization. However, some large companies still successful in saving their organizational culture despite it takes much time for them to make changes. Okay, keep going. You are answering question in an informative way. I want to ask you your third and last question. How organization culture differs between profit and non-profit organizations?
Okay, I can answer this question. First, I want to talk about non-profit companies. While these companies exist for service to the community, employees in these companies need to be volunteers. In addition, these enterprises are difficult to find financing because they do not sell anything. They provide funding with donations. Thus, even the top management should take part in projects in order for these enterprises to survive. That's why an egalitarian working group is formed. They also follow a more variable and dynamic strategy rather than a long-term plan and strategy. In the profit-making enterprises, the organizational culture, sorry for my English, is usually established by the leader and tries to move forward in the way that he draws. The company itself is more important than ethical values because it tries to make a profit. They approach employees more professionally. They do not hesitate to change what's failing because it is the company that matters.
To conclude your answers for the interview, I can say that organization culture is helpful for the improvement of company since all people have to adopt it so that the coordination and vertical hierarchy develop inside organization. As long as organizational culture is applied in appropriate condition and right company, it will contribute to the unique environment and increase discipline and also the coordination level inside organizations. I would like to thank you for applying to our company. Nice to meet you. We will give a feedback to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.